We're going to continue on this 4104 project here. It's fighting us every step of the way. Got our new shocks and then all of our new bushings as well. So we'll get these Gabriel fleet lines put on. Alright, so this sleeve we can order, but we got to cut it out with a torch and have it re-welded in. So we're going to remove this whole bracket, hopefully, and then take it to our welder and have him cut it out and weld a new one in for us. We've got it pre-treated with some penetrating oil. We'll see if they're going to come off, because like I said earlier, these aren't U-bolts, they're actually welded directly to it. So if we break one, we're going to have to weld in on that. That's a whole nother thing. Let's see, 0% of the penetrating oil got up under there. Alright, that's a good start. Maybe your mini pry bar and I can get those washers off. This is it back here. Yeah.
Something that's never been off, probably. Since the bus has been built.
That one came off.
Came off pretty easy.
Yeah, this has definitely never been off. This is 1958. This was put on. Not been thought about since. I think we're gonna need something to tap it. You got washers on the other side still. Maybe try tapping the whole bracket with a hammer. Maybe the vibrations will free it up a little too. Somehow I think getting the nuts off was going to be the easy part. Let me try tapping down this. Get down from the bolts on the top, everything. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Side of the axle moves a lot.
Can you hit down on that plate? Let me start with a chisel.
Is there two pieces in between it?
I think there's 3 at one point. Let You hand me a chisel and a hammer, and I'll try to get up in the. Are your washers all still on the other side? Still
Yeah.
too? You want to hold this camera for me? And I'll try to get this washer off. Side like that. Okay. Let's spray some more penetrant up under there. Yeah, second. I don't know if that tank over there is full of gasoline or not. Alright, since we're having trouble getting this off, I'm just going to have the mobile welder come out here and have him cut this out and weld the new one in place. It's the service call for him to come out here is going to be cheaper than a couple hours more of labor trying to get this whole plate off that's not coming off. So when you get the bottom airbag bolts on, then you just use your jack under there and raise up the axle, and then it'll bring those the top bolt holes right up through their spots, so you can get them in place. Makes it a lot easier. So yeah, just jack the axle up. You got room there between the bump stops, so about another 1.5 inches. And you do the top bolts real easy. It's definitely got some oil leaks. That was only from running about 10 minutes and then pulling it in. That's power steering fluid leaking here, and then that came out of the air box over there, all that oil there. And those others are drips, I'm not sure where they came from. One's probably the air box drain on the other side, and then probably oil pan or something. A big one there too. But that's 3 foot across. He has 6 new Michelin tires that he's been taking over to the tire shop and getting them put on the rims. So he's making progress on it. He's got 3 of them done now. These old airbags are nice to cut up to use the rubber if you need rubber for some projects or something. Just make some little strips out of them. It comes in handy for different things. You put it as an insulator between something for vibration or something. But yeah, that rubber, you can cut it up nice. There's no steel cords or anything, so it's better than a tire. This was a homemade one. So somebody took a regular carriage bolt, ground down the sides on it, and then bent the top over. And it's coarse thread. All the other ones are fine thread. That's how we noticed that it was homemade. Probably dang. I would have never not thought of doing that, but that's pretty smart. really going in there.
You can fit the jaws of life in there.
Yeah, he said it was.
Between the top and the bottom.
Yeah, but he said it wasn't. I don't know how he was trying to grab it. Maybe he wasn't trying it from the side here.
Yeah, you can definitely go from the bent part to there.
Yeah. Yeah, let's give it a shot.
I don't know. Can't see.
Can you push it to the front of the bus more, or is it all the way up against the bolt? There you go. Start pumping.
Kicking it out.
Keep going. It was, but I think it's
Stay
still.
grab now.
Yeah.
Working?
Keep going.
Damn. Gave up. Ejected.
All right. Let the pressure off.
Huh?
Let the pressure off. It just, I think it flexed back right to where it was at. Yeah. It expanded a little bit. It flexed right back to where it was.
Or you could just fit the air hammer in there. Chisel bit.
Yeah, that's what I think. Cut. Oh, between there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could use that to chisel the nut off of the bolt.
Yeah.
But yeah, try the air hammer. That'll be easier.
Like that.
I mean, you could try that at first. I think more inwards is what I, yeah, like that. It looks like it's working. Definitely working.
Bent it down.
Yeah. Keep going a little bit more. I don't know how much it's going to flex back. I would try to pull it out while you're triggering it, like twist. I don't know if you can get a socket on it or not, but it's a lot closer to doing it. You might be able to.
This should. I don't know if it matters which way, but.
Keep going, you're doing great there. That is amazing. You got it. It's all stuck. You got some oil, let's put on the other one. I think there's some little like 1/4" shims behind there too that might fall out when you take it out. See if it'll come off.
I should have taken the brake line off first.
Yeah, and then there's some washers on there that might help you if you take the washers off too. One higher. That doesn't seem like that's holding you on there though. It's that loose. I thought maybe it was gripping. Can you go top and bottom? Rock it top bottom wise?
Move top and bottom.
Hit it with a hammer. I bet you come off. Hit the housing, I think it's doing it. That has to be a swivel fitting, right? I don't know why I was twisting the line.
No.
Just spin the can around then. You're catching the hook there. Oh, is the fitting under it turning too? Is that why? There's an adapter in there? I think the adapter is turning with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. You put Teflon tape on that?
No.
That's a compression fitting. You're not supposed to put tape on that. So just try dry fitting that other brake chamber in there.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if it fits. I think it's gonna fit.
It'll fit with the rod. How long it is.
clock it so the top comes towards me. There you go. Kind of push it. It's close.
I can't get on it straight.
Because of that bulkhead thing. It's almost there. You almost got the hole started. It's like right there. Just jiggle it a little, and I think it would go.
I'm hitting with the rod.
The rod is hitting the frame, that rail. You got the bottom hole in, you just gotta clock it back a little bit. So it's got,
It's just all this.
oh yeah, you got no room. Can the top one go in? Huh. Yeah, there you go. Almost.
Nope.
It's so close. You're like one thread off. So come back from the other way, the way you were starting the first time. Get that hose out of there. Hand me that hose, I'll pull it up over this way. That's fine. Should be over there. Do that again, but put the bottom one in first, and I think you're gonna get it.
Did that already.
Right there.
Hitting this still.
Yeah. Shit.
You'll need all that.
Yeah, I kind of do. But we could lose a little bit of it, yeah. I think the steel here is going to be in the way because the old brake can. I can't see it here. It sticks out. It's got like a, I can stick my finger next to it here, so it's got like a little standoff. New ones don't have that. I think it's gonna hit this metal here. It's going to be cut out more in the middle there.
Peppered it is.
Probably go up from there.
Huh?
Go cut up now. Yep. Hit it with your hammer, it'll probably come right off.
More.
I'll try the top bolt again first and see if that will give you the clearance. hitting the side, right?
It's hidden.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was saying from the beginning. Because the other can is a different shape.
What do we do? Do they make different?
No, not that I'm aware of. How far off are we?
From
Touching. An inch?
touching this?
Yeah.
We are touching it.
No, from touching where the bolts go. Is that about an inch?
Oh. Probably.
Maybe a little less. We could put, like they have standoff washers on there already. Heck of a groove under there. Those bolts stand off there, so we've got clearance on this side over here. This is just fat the whole way. You know, this distance here. Can this piece come off of here and go mounted on here? Oh, I see. Yeah, that sucks. Okay. Yeah, hand me that mark, the grease crayon. Is it around here somewhere? From over there. do you think? Just a tiny, tiny bit down there in the bottom. And it's clearance all the way at the top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. In order to cut this push rod to the right length, we gotta measure how long this one is on here, and then transfer that over to here, except this is a spring brake. So this one, it's all the way retracted in, ready to apply the brake and come out further. This one is already applied. So we put a fitting in here, we're gonna add air to it, it's gonna suck this back in, and then we can measure the same length as that one. But you don't wanna measure this and then do this right now, because then the geometry is gonna be off, because when you add air to release the spring brake, this sucks back in, then when you apply the brake, it comes back out. So it would be the wrong length if you didn't have it sucked back in the can. So like I said, we just put an air fitting on it, and we can get our measurement. It's supposed to be 2.5 inch stroke too, so I assume you could probably measure 2.5 inches additional on it, but we'll just do it the easy way.
It's really working on these threads.
Close enough, as long as we got a mark we can see. Yep, that's good. Good mark. You can release the air. We loosen the jam nut on the old one. The clevis is a little different size than the new one that we got, so we're going to reuse the old one. Just get it cleaned up. Luckily it's coming off. I'm sticking through a little bit. Put a little paint on there just so it doesn't rust where the fresh cut metal is at. Plenty of work to do back here with new airbags, radius rod bushings. We're going to pull the wheel bearings, pull the hub. It's got leaky wheel seal on it, as you can see. A new seal, inspect the bearings, repack the bearings. So, a lot of work to do in there. New shock. Let's get ready to do that now. Okay, so we got the brake drum and the hub off here, the axle out. You can definitely see how much that wheel seal was leaking in there. And this is grease. Someone's gonna ask about when that brake chain's in there, how are you gonna cage your brakes? We're gonna drill a little hole right through that bulkhead there, and he's not gonna put anything in front of it, so you can get to it from the inside. You can put a plug in it, and you can take the plug out and put the caging bolt in, crank it on, so you'll have access right through there. No big deal. It's much more safe to have spring brakes on here than not have spring brakes. And then you can see that shock is all leaky, so we're gonna replace that with a new shock too. Yeah, it's just a couple of valves to put on, you know, an anti-compounding valve and a push-pull parking brake valve for the spring brakes. So that'll be it's very easy to do. We just had to make that slight modification. We just had the smallest, thinnest little sliver of metal we had to cut out there. That's not too big at all. It wasn't affecting the structure or anything. That's a box frame there, and it comes all the way out on this side. So there's plenty of room there. No big deal whatsoever. But yeah, it's just a little bit of work to do, a little bit of modification, but it's much easier. 4106, it doesn't fit. You have to totally take those brackets off and re-weld them on. But yeah, it'll be much safer with spring brakes on it, and it just took a little bit of time to get it worked out. Got a little bit of heat checking in these brake drums. Look at them a little closer, but they're not terrible. They're not really deep, so those are good. Just get everything cleaned up. The brake shoes aren't all oily, that's good. We definitely gotta check the rear end fluid level in it, because it's been leaking. That is very wet. That whole housing all the way back is very, very wet. And we looked in the tube and we couldn't see, flashlight would get in there, but we can't see the fluid level in the middle there. So we'll see how low it is. It's supposed to hold 5 gallons. One of our Patreon members sent us some new 20-pound fire extinguishers. That's nice to have there. We got a little bracket so you can't kick it over, but it's right by the door when you go to walk out. I didn't want to hang it on the wall because it's heavy, but it's sitting right there. If you have the chance to use it on the way out, it's there. But yeah, they're pretty large. It actually weighs like 35 pounds. That's 20 pounds of powder in it. It's an ABC fire extinguisher. All right, well, that's where we're at with the bus as of right now. So we're getting ready to start week number 2 on it. So we've only been on it a week. I think we have got a lot of work done on it. But yeah, it's quite the project, that's for sure.